Good evening to all. DC generator. This is a topic now we are going to know. At the end of this video lecture, students can understand clearly about principle of operation, construction, working, and EMF equation of DC generator. It is useful for first year engineering students and second year EEE students as they are studying the subjects basic electrical engineering and electrical machines 1. Let us know the function of DC generator. What is DC generator? DC generator is electrical machine. It is used to convert mechanical energy into electrical energy in the form of DC. Input is mechanical energy, output is electrical energy. That electrical energy is in the form of DC, so it is called DC generator. Let us know basic principle of DC generator. Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, that is first law, it is the basic principle of DC generator. Whenever a conductor is moved in a magnetic field, dynamically induced EMF is produced in that conductor. As the conductor is moved, the induced EMF is called dynamically induced EMF. If the conductor is not moved and it is kept at static means, then it can be called as statically induced EMF. This is the difference between dynamically induced EMF and statically induced EMF. Students should know. Here conductor is moved, so the induced EMF is called dynamically induced EMF. Let us know the constructional details. First one, magnetic frame or yoke. It is the outer layer of the DC machine. It is used as protecting cover. Then poles. In this diagram, we have taken 4-pole machine. Poles are used to produce magnetic field. Then interpoles. Interpoles are placed between two main poles. This is called interpoles. It is used to improve commutation. Pole shoes. It is the upper part of the pole. Then armature. Armature is the rotating part of the DC machine. Commutator. It is used to convert bidirectional EMF into unidirectional EMF. Brushes are used to collect the current. Bearings and shaft. Bearings are used to avoid unwanted oscillations. And shaft used to provide mechanical support to the machine. Dear students, the constructional details of the DC machine is common for both the DC motor and DC generator. Here I have explained for DC generator. Let us consider a single turn coil A, B, C, D. Look at the diagram, figure 3. Let us consider a single turn coil A, B, C, D rotated on a shaft within a uniform magnetic field. It is rotated in anti-clockwise direction. Students, here uniform magnetic field is produced by permanent magnets, one side north pole, another side south pole. Here the magnetic flux lines are traveling from north pole to south pole. And now look at the figure 4. Sine wave is shown here. Only one cycle drawn here at 0 degree. In x-axis we have taken omega t, that is radians per second. In y-axis we have taken EMF E. It is in omega t radians per second, that is in degrees. Angular time. At 0 degree EMF is 0, at 90 degree EMF is maximum, at 180 degree and 360 degree EMF is 0. At 270 degree EMF is maximum, but it is in negative direction. Right. Let us explain about the theoretical part of the DC generator. Here we consider a single turn coil ABCD. According to Faraday's law 2. What is Faraday's law 2? EMF induced is proportional to the rate of change of flux linkages. It is Faraday's law 2. That means E is equal to minus N d phi by dt. E EMF minus N is number of turns, d phi by dt. Phi stands for flux, T for time. d phi by dt means change in flux with respect to time. where n is number of turns, 5 flux and t is the time. Here we considered single turn coil, so n is equal to 1. We can rewrite the above equation. E is equal to minus 1 into d phi by dt volts. Initially, when the coil is moving parallel to flux lines, no flux line is cut and hence d phi by dt is equal to 0. So EMF also equal to 0. It is occurred at omega t is equal to 0 degree. Dear students, when there is parallel axis between flux lines and direction of conductor, when both are in parallel direction, at the time no flux line is cut, so no EMF is induced, that is 0. E is equal to 0. After time t second, the coil would have rotated through an angle omega t radians in the anticlockwise direction. Now the flux linking with the coil is BLB cos theta. Caps B for flux density, small b for breadth of the coil, small l for length of the coil, cos theta. Now you can substitute BLB cos theta instead of writing phi. Here we have written E is equal to minus d phi by dt. Here instead of phi you can take BLB cos theta. So E is equal to minus d by dt into BLB cos omega t. It can be written as EM sin omega t. Here EM is nothing but BLB omega. Dear students, in this differentiation, BLB is considered as constant, so you can take it outside, remaining minus d by dt of cos omega t, that is sin omega t. Finally, you can take it as EM sin omega t. When theta is equal to 90 degree, at the time the direction of conductor is perpendicular to flux lines. So flux lines are cut at the maximum rate and EMF is maximum. When theta is equal to 180 degree, at the time both the conductor and the flux lines are in parallel, so no flux lines are cut and EMF is 0. When theta is equal to 270 degree, flux lines are cut at the maximum rate but their position reversed and EMF is maximum. So we are having minus EM. When theta is equal to 360 degree, coil is parallel to flux lines and EMF is 0. Look at the sinusoidal waveform. Here we have only one full cycle of the EMF. It is alternating EMF. Here EMF value will be 0 at 0 degree, 180 degree and 360 degree. EMF value will be maximum at 90 degree and 270 degree. But during 90 degree we have positive maximum of EMF. During 270 degree we have negative maximum of EMF. The EMF changes from instant to instant and becomes alternatively positive and negative. Such an EMF is called an alternating EMF. The alternating EMF drawn here is sinusoidal waveform. If the coil sides are connected to the two slip rings A and B, look at the diagram. A and B are slip rings and an external resistance R is connected across them. External resistance R is connected between slip rings A and B. A current flows through the resistor which is in alternating. So dear students, the induced EMF E in the coil can be increased by increasing the flux density B and angular velocity omega. In commercial generators, a large number of coils are used and they are housed in the armature which rotates on the shaft at high speed. Here I have explained single coil ABCD between two poles. But in commercial generators, large number of coils are used and they are housed in the armature, which rotates on the shaft at high speed. The current flowing in the external resistance to a DC generator is made unidirectional by replacing a slip ring by a split ring. Here, in generators, commercial generators, slip rings are replaced by split ring. Dear students, in practical condition, any generator will produce only alternating waveform. We have to provide commutator to convert that AC into DC. So the diagram shown here is for split ring. Look at the split ring diagram, that is figure 5. This ring, the ring is split into two equal segments P and Q, and the segments are insulated from each other and also from shaft. Here B1, B2 are brushes. The coil side AB is always attached to a segment P. Look at the diagram 6. Coil side AB is always attached to a segment P, and likewise CD is attached to Q. The brushes B1 and B2 touch these segments P and Q and are meant to collect current. As I said earlier, brushes are used to collect the current. During the first half of revolution, current flows along AB, LM, CD through brush B1, which is positive, and B2, which is in negative polarity. After half a cycle, AB and CD have exchanged positions along with the segments P and Q. Look at the diagram 7. Here, the position of the coil have been changed, and also the direction of segments changed, and the current now flows through DC, LM, BA, but still B1 is in positive polarity, also B2 is in negative polarity. For each half revolution, the positions of segments P and Q also reversed. Hence, the current in the load is always unidirectional. Now look at the diagram 8. In x-axis we have taken theta, in y-axis we have taken EMF from 0 to 180 degree and 180 to 360 degree. In both cases we have positive half cycle only, there is no negative half cycle, so it is considered as unidirectional EMF. In a generator, the split rings are called as commutator. Let us know EMF induced in a generator. Now we are going to know equation, that is EMF equation induced in a DC generator. Let phi be the flux per pole in Webers, P be the number of poles, Z be the total number of conductors in the armature, A be the number of parallel paths. Each parallel path will have Z by A conductors in series, where N is speed of rotation in RPM. Consider one conductor on the periphery of the armature. Now we are going to consider only one conductor on the periphery of the armature. As this conductor makes one complete revolution, it cuts P phi Webers, P for poles, phi for flux. As the speed is N RPM, the time taken for one revolution is 60 divided by N seconds. Since the EMF induced in the conductor is equal to rate of change of flux cut, according to Faraday's law 2, EMF induced in the conductor is directly proportional to rate of change of flux. So E is proportional to d phi by dt. Instead of writing d phi, we can write p phi. As this conductor makes one complete revolution, it cuts p phi Webers. So instead of writing d phi, you can write p phi. Then instead of writing dt, you can take 60 by N. Why? As the speed is N RPM, the time taken for one revolution is 60 divided by N. You can rearrange the equation, that is EMF is equal to N P phi divided by 60 volts. It is for one conductor. Since there are Z by A conductors in series in each parallel path, generated EMF in DC generator EG is equal to NP5 by 60 into Z by A, because we are considering Z by A conductors. So EMF for single conductor NP5 by 60, and it should be multiplied with the Z by A, because we are going to calculate for Z by A conductors. So the generated EMF equation for Z by A conductors is equal to 5Z10P divided by 60 volts. The student should understand that there are two types of parallel path, one for lap winding, another one for wave winding. If we are following lap wound armature, then the number of poles A is equal to P. Number of poles will be equal to number of parallel paths. If wave wound is preferred, then number of parallel paths will be equal to 2 always. This is EMF equation for DC generator. Thank you all.